Okay, so this is Docker Cloud. And if you've done my course on integrating Docker with DevOps automated workflows, then you're going to recognize this. It used to be called Tutim until Docker acquired it sometime like at the back end of 2015. Anyway, now it's Docker Cloud. So first of all, let's jump here to nodes. And we've got 5 nodes. And they're all labeled or tagged like this. So, all tagged as prod, 2 as blue, 2 as green, and then 1 for our application's load balancer. So if we click into this one, right, we see the labels or tags up here. Now, if we jump over to services here, we've got 3 services: web green, web blue, and load balancer. And if we drill into our load balancer, look at configuration, then links, see how it's linked to web green. This means traffic coming into our app via the load balancer is all getting forwarded to containers that are part of the web green service. And if we hit web green here, right, we see 2 containers currently running. In this case, that's 2 web server instances. In fact, I probably should have shown this earlier. But yeah, on the node screen here, we can see each node is currently running only a single container. So that's 1 load balancer and 4 web services. 2 of the web services are for green and 2 are for blue. And don't forget, we saw that the load balancer is currently sending all traffic to green. So blue's just sitting there not doing anything. Maybe on a different version. Maybe we're doing testing against it. Who knows? Well, if we jump back up to stacks, hit our stack here, and if we go to endpoints, then this little pop out here, this is our app. Now, for this demo, all we're interested in is the web green one here. And if we hit refresh a few times, right, we see the load balancer balancing traffic over the 2 web green containers. Cool. Well, let's say the business has a promotion going on and traffic is going through the roof, so we need more web containers. Well, if we come back here, hit services, web green, then this slider up here, we can just roll this across to, I reckon, 8. Hit apply, and it's immediately spinning up these 6 extra containers as part of the web green service. Well, that didn't take long. But why am I telling you this? Well, if we jump back to nodes over here and look closely, see how all of those 6 new containers got started on just these 2 nodes here. The other 3, they've still just got the 1 container going. The reason for this? Labels. So, if we click one of these, sure enough, it's labeled as green. So what we just did, right, was we scaled the number of containers in the web green service, and they all got laid out on the nodes labeled as green. The nodes labeled as blue or load balancer, they weren't even eligible to host the new containers. All because, if we come to stacks up here, we'll have ours, and if we look at the stack file, which if you know Docker Compose is going to look nice and familiar, but down here under the section for the web green service, see how we're telling it to only work on nodes tagged as green and prod. So that means we could scale our web green service till the cows come home, 100, 200 containers, right? But they're only ever going to get scheduled on nodes tagged with these 2 tags here. And if we look, yeah, of course it's the same for web blue. That's only interested in nodes tagged as blue and prod. So, while Docker Cloud doesn't leverage Swarm for its scheduling right now, at least not at the time of recording, okay, it still leverages tags and labels for container scheduling. Oh, and if we jump back to our endpoint up here, hit refresh a few more times, see how that's now cycling through all 8 of the new containers. Well, there we are. A little bit off-piste in the sense that it's not core Swarm per se, but I thought it might be good for you to see how some of the low-level stuff that we've been learning about gets built on top of by high-level programs like Docker UCP, Docker Cloud, plus, not to mention, a whole raft of third-party products too. So yeah, you know what? That's the course pretty much done. Though, stick around for just a couple more minutes, right, while I mention a few things that you might want to consider as next steps. Stuff that might help you take your container knowledge and journey to the next phase. See you in the next and final module.